Hello everyone and welcome again to the Rectory. It's Palm Sunday today, and of course on Palm Sunday we begin our journey through Holy Week to Good Friday and from there on into Easter Sunday. And of course things aren't quite as they would normally be. We're not gathering in church to celebrate Palm Sunday today. So instead I'd like to invite you to do something slightly different this week. I'd like to invite you to come on a pilgrimage with me through Holy Week. Pilgrimage, of course, normally would be a physical journey, but it's just as possible to do a virtual pilgrimage. And that's what we're hoping to do this week, to walk with Jesus day by day through the events of Holy Week and Easter. I'm indebted for this to the Rev Kate Bruce, who's written this pilgrimage through Holy Week for this time. And so it reflects the themes of isolation and lockdown, which we're all dealing with at the moment. And making the journey, making this pilgrimage through Holy Week has an awful lot to offer us as we take time to reflect on the readings day by day. And of course, at the moment, most of us have a bit more time than we would normally have. So we're going to ponder our way through Holy Week day by day, and every day there's going to be a reading to reflect on, and a short reflection, and a prayer. So we begin today on Palm Sunday, remembering the story of Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, as recorded by St. Matthew. So here we have a reading from Matthew chapter 21. When they had come near Jerusalem and had reached Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, just say this: 'The Lord needs them,' and he will send them immediately." This took place to fulfill what had been spoken through the prophet, saying, "Tell the daughter of Zion, look, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on a donkey, and on a colt, the foal of a donkey." The disciples went and did as Jesus had directed them. They brought the donkey and the colt, and put their cloaks on them, and he sat on them. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and that followed were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" When he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, "Who is this?" And the crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." Who is this? That's the question that jumps out for me. The crowd is buzzing and asking, "Who is this?" Jesus plans his entry into the city deliberately. He parodies the great processions of the powerful. No great carriages, no fine horses, no fanfare. He comes riding a donkey with a rabble paving the way. People are drawn to him in crowds. They see something in him that makes them mark and honour his presence, waving palm branches and shouting out with excitement. Jesus is enacting a clear message. His power is not over and above, but alongside and with people. That's worth noticing. I can't help but sigh internally at the reference to a large crowd in this time of social distancing, longing to physically connect with people and not have to cross roads to avoid them or zigzag out of the way in the supermarket, which feels so weird. But I draw comfort from the truth that whether we are gathered in crowds or separated from each other, then, as now, Jesus is alongside and with us. Remember that. as you take what seems to be a solitary walk or make this solitary pilgrimage, Jesus walks with you. Who is this? He is Jesus, friend of sinners, friend of fools, friend of all who turn to him. On this strange Palm Sunday, ponder that thought and be comforted. His power is not over and above, but alongside and with people, alongside and with you. A prayer as we begin our pilgrimage. Jesus, as we walk through Holy Week, will you walk with us? As separately we gather around you, give us your strength, your wisdom, your courage, and the knowledge of your presence with us. Enter the city of our hearts and teach us who you are. Amen. Do remember to look out in the days to come for the next stage of our pilgrimage through Holy Week. Bye for now.